Hey, before we begin tonight, I wanted to share a quick note with you. My name is Manny, I'm one of the team members and producers behind the channel. Owen Thorne, the familiar voice you've come to know and trust, will be stepping away starting next week to begin a new chapter of his own. Owen asked me to thank you sincerely for letting his voice be a part of your evenings, your rest, and your peace. The stories will continue, just with a new voice to guide you.
Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories, where gentle words and soothing imagery await you. Tonight, you're invited on a peaceful journey, one that drifts through the misty, rain-swept hills of Transylvania beneath a quiet moon. For the next little while, you may allow yourself to sink deeply into rest, leaving behind the busy chatter of the day. Breathe in slow and soft, letting the air fill your lungs. Then breathe out gently, releasing any tension you find lingering in your body. Notice how each exhale makes your shoulders relax and your thoughts begin to settle. If you wish, close your eyes or simply lower your gaze. Here, in this restful space, prepare to slip into a world of cool raindrops, soft cobblestone streets, and a moon that glows faintly behind veils of silver mist. Let your body grow heavy as the mind begins to lighten, and trust that this story will guide you calmly toward the tranquil edges of slumber. In a quiet corner of Transylvania, beyond winding roads and rolling hills blanketed by low-lying fog, a lone traveler ambles into a small, hidden village. The hour is late. The sky is layered with thick clouds, and the moon behind them is a pale disk, hardly visible through the shifting mist. Though the traveler's name is not widely known, their presence in this remote place carries a calm curiosity. A faint drizzle drifts down from the heavy clouds, tapping gently upon rooftops and cobblestones, weaving a soft lullaby that envelopes the entire village. The surrounding woods breathe softly, with the hush of raindrops slipping through leaves. An old stone wall, covered in ivy and moss, outlines a narrow path leading toward a cluster of small houses. Each dwelling is constructed of timber and stone, with shutters that rattle gently in the breeze and chimneys sending wisps of smoke curling into the cool night air. Lanterns flicker in the windows, glowing warm and steady against the somber backdrop of the evening. Through one lit window, a swaying shadow of a rocking chair can be seen. Through another, the silhouette of a cat perched upon a windowsill, its back curved in a leisurely stretch. The traveler notices a sign hanging by iron chains, "Town of Valor." Though the paint has worn away from years of wind and rain, the letters remain legible enough. Beneath the name is a crest depicting a crescent moon, partially concealed by wispy clouds, an emblem of the region's enduring connection to the mysteries of the night. The sign creaks as the gentle breeze sets it in motion, echoing across the empty lane. Raindrops cling to the traveler's cloak and hat, trickling slowly to the ground with each step. The patter forms a rhythmic backdrop, mingling with the soft whisper of the wind. Far in the distance, the forest stands tall, a realm of ancient pines and oaks standing sentinel around the village, their outlines a dark tapestry against the night sky. Small flickers of light appear here and there, maybe a distant window in a lonely cottage, or the lantern of a villager making their way home. There's no hurry in these parts. Time seems to flow more softly, as though the moonlit mist slows every heartbeat to a gentler tempo. Eventually, the traveler comes across a large oak door framed by carved columns. A round brass handle catches the scant moonlight, reflecting a faint glow. Above the door is a faded sign that reads, "The Silver Maple Inn." The letters are nearly chipped away, but the inn exudes a quiet sense of welcome. The traveler pushes open the heavy door with a slight creak, stepping inside to find a small foyer lit by the soft glow of a single lantern. The air is pleasantly warm, carrying the faint scent of beeswax, pine logs, and brewed tea. Behind a wooden desk stands Isadora, the innkeeper, a kindly soul with silver-streaked hair pinned into a neat bun. Her warm eyes crinkle in a gentle smile at the sight of a new visitor. "Welcome," she says, in a voice as soft as a lullaby. "You'll find a cozy haven here." She slides an aged, leather-bound register forward. The traveler signs with a simple flourish. No questions are asked. Isadora only nods in acknowledgement. It's late, and words are best kept for calmer hours. The innkeeper leads the traveler along a short corridor. The walls are adorned with framed sketches of winding lanes and moonlit nights, capturing glimpses of local legends and scenic vistas. Each step echoes with a gentle creak on the old floorboards, but the inn feels sturdy and reassuring, as though it has stood watch for countless nights of drizzle and hush. The traveler's room is small but comfortable. A simple bed with plush covers, a wooden dresser, and a window that opens onto the cobblestone street below. That tapping of rain against the shutters becomes a companion in the darkness. The traveler notices a half-burned candle on the bedside table. Its faint glow flickers, sending dancing shadows across the wooden walls. A sense of calm washes over the traveler, and their shoulders ease down from the day's exertions. The bed calls invitingly, but the night also feels too enchanting to simply let it pass. After placing their belongings aside, the traveler peers out the window to witness the swirling haze that cloaks Valo. Raindrops shine where lantern light catches them, and the quiet hush of the street below is mesmerizing. Slipping back down to the inn's main hall, the traveler finds that Isadora has placed a kettle on a crackling fire in the hearth. The subdued glow of the flames illuminates carved wooden furniture and rag rugs that soften the space. Chairs with plump cushions beckon, and a subtle aroma of chamomile mingles with the crisp scent of rain wafting through the partially open window. Isadora pours tea into a porcelain cup, offering it with a gentle nod. The traveler takes a sip and tastes warmth, comfort, and the soft hush of the night in each mouthful. The few other guests in the inn sit quietly by the fire, some reading, others simply looking into the flames as though searching for unspoken stories within the flickering light. The traveler settles into a corner chair and listens to the steady crackle of burning logs. Every now and then, a small spark pops, floating upward in a swirl of warm air, fading into the shadows. The traveler's eyelids grow heavier, lulled by the combined melody of gentle conversation and pattering rain, until a subtle drowsiness settles around them like a comforting blanket. After finishing the tea, the traveler bids Isadora good night and retreats once more to the cozy guest room. Curtains are drawn, blotting out much of the moonlight, but a dim silver gleam still peeks around the edges. The pillow is soft, the sheets freshly laundered. Slipping beneath the covers feels like sinking into a cloud. Sleep beckons, but the faint chorus of the rain outside and the sense of an unseen wonder in the nocturnal landscape stirs a wistful curiosity. Softly, rest finds the traveler, and the night passes in a medley of half-remembered dreams of drifting mist, quiet footsteps, and the gentle glow of a lantern far away. In the early morning, a subtle light penetrates the clouds, dissolving the heavier darkness of the sky. The rain has lessened to an occasional drizzle. In place of heavier drops, there is only the faint hush of moisture caressing the leaves and rooftops. The traveler wakes to a delicate morning hush. Birds hidden in the wet foliage begin to chirp in soft, tentative notes, as though unsure whether the day has truly begun. Slipping out of bed, the traveler finds the shutters slightly open, revealing a landscape blanketed in a gentle mist that only gradually thins. The rooftops glisten in morning dampness, and puddles on the street reflect fragments of the sky. After dressing in fresh clothes, the traveler heads to the inn's small dining area, where Isadora has laid out bread, honey, and fruit preserves. The simple meal carries the taste of kindness and a new day's promise. A low fire crackles in the nearby hearth, taking the chill from the air. Guests speak in murmurs, politely acknowledging each other with tired smiles. No one here seems rushed or impatient. Outside, the thin drizzle decorates the lush potted ferns that flank the inn's entrance. The traveler steps onto the cobblestones. Even in daylight, the quaint village retains an air of secrecy. Old stone buildings lean together as if whispering ancient secrets. Overhead, the sky remains cloaked in a pale grey, and though the sun tries to break through, it never fully reveals itself. The mist lingers among the alleyways, carrying the scent of wet earth and distant pine groves. The traveler walks along the main street. Each step is accompanied by a quiet splash in the shallow puddles. Stores are just beginning to open. A bakery with wide windows that fill the air with the aroma of fresh bread. A small tailor's shop with a display of hand-stitched cloaks and scarves, and a little bookstore where an old man in a wool vest props open the door to let in the crisp morning breeze. The traveler offers a polite nod to each person they pass. The villagers respond in kind. There's a sense of familiarity here, as though each stranger is welcomed like a friend, enveloped by centuries of hospitality. A few lanterns remain lit in shop windows, their amber light diffused by the lingering haze. The traveler's steps carry them toward an ancient stone church at the far end of the street. It stands tall, its spire pointing toward the moody sky. A circular stained glass window depicts a motif of moon and stars, a timeless reflection of how this region respects the magic of the night. Water drips from the church's eaves, forming rivulets that trickle down the aged stone walls. The traveler pauses outside the heavy wooden doors, which bear the intricate carvings of spirals and vines. Although the interior remains locked this early in the day, the traveler marvels at how the structure seems at once grand and peaceful, a resting place for countless whispered prayers. Feeling the pull of nature beyond the village limits, the traveler ventures along a narrow footpath that skirts the edge of a nearby forest. The drizzle lessens, but the air stays fresh and cool. Moss blankets fallen logs, while ferns sprout around the base of towering oaks. The footpath leads to a gentle slope overlooking an expanse of rolling hills. From this vantage, the traveler gazes out upon a landscape marked by winding roads, grazing sheep, and patches of dark pine stretching into the distance. A faint shimmer of sunlight tries to pierce the shifting clouds, casting brief hints of light over the saturated greens and browns. A small cottage stands alone at the foot of the slope, with smoke curling from its chimney. The traveler feels drawn to its warm aura. Approaching the cottage reveals a quaint garden bordered by a low stone fence. Herbs and wildflowers flourish, their leaves trembling with remaining droplets of rain. The traveler knocks gently, curious to find a friend, or at least some friendly chat. An older woman, stooped from years of tending the earth, opens the door. She greets the traveler with a welcoming smile. Though her eyes are milky with age, they shine with understanding and warmth. She motions for the traveler to step in from the damp, guiding them to a chair near the hearth. Inside, the cottage is simple and comforting. Dried herbs hang from the rafters, filling the air with the fragrances of lavender, rosemary, and a hint of mint. The older woman introduces herself as Nadia. She places a chipped teapot on a wooden table beside two mismatched cups. Her voice is low and even, like a familiar lullaby. Though their words are few, conversation flows easily in soft tones. Nadia explains how she has lived here for decades, tending her garden and collecting rainwater in barrels. She speaks of the local legends passed down through families that have called this village home for centuries. Tales of a benevolent spirit wandering among the pines at night, or an ancient hush that descends upon the forest when the moon is high. Nothing frightful, only quiet mysteries that color the region's charm. As the traveler sips tea, an herbal blend with a slight sweetness, time seems to slow. The warmth of the hearth and Nadia's soothing presence weave a cocoon of calm. The drizzle outside continues, but it's a comforting sound now, a gentle background melody that soothes the mind. When the tea is finished, the traveler thanks Nadia. She places a careful hand on the traveler's arm and nods, an expression that conveys both hope and a silent blessing. The traveler departs, stepping back into the world of soft rain and drifting mist. Ambling back along the path toward Valo, the traveler notices that the day remains subdued, the sky refusing to clear. Shadows shift across the ground as the wind nudges the clouds. Here and there, a transient sunbeam escapes, but it's quickly swallowed by the next billow of grey. The traveler feels a comforting hush in these surroundings, an almost magical invitation to linger in the present moment. The mind feels lighter in this hush, unburdened by the rush of day-to-day concerns. Returning to the inn by late afternoon, the traveler finds Isadora preparing supper. Steam drifts from a simmering pot, carrying the aroma of root vegetables and fresh herbs. She invites the traveler to a seat by the window, where the faint outlines of the rainy street can still be seen. Tonight, she says, there will be a special dish, mushroom stew, featuring local mushrooms collected at the forest's edge. Her words evoke the mystery of the land and bring comfort in the promise of warmth. In the hours that follow, gentle conversation with other guests and the sipping of mulled cider fill the inn with a soft buzz. Candle flames dance, reflecting in the polished surfaces of the tableware. The windows hold dark skies beyond them, revealing only the shining droplets of rain caught momentarily in the glow. Outside, the wind picks up, whispering through cracks in the shutters. Thunder rumbles faintly in the distance, but never close enough to disturb the tranquility within these walls. After supper, the traveler steps onto the porch of the inn, watching the raindrops create intricate patterns in the puddles. Occasionally, a flash of distant lightning illuminates the horizon, followed by a low rumble of thunder that resonates gently, like a far-off drum. The moon is veiled behind an almost impenetrable layer of cloud, but now and then, a thin sliver of silver emerges, casting fleeting light on the wet cobblestones. It gives the night a faintly ethereal glow. As the hour grows late, the traveler feels the pull of rest, yet the soft symphony of rain on the rooftops beckons them to wander just a bit more. Within the hush of night, the village seems to transform. Lanterns burn in windows like tiny stars, and the spaces between houses appear deeper, filled with shadows and secrets that don't ask to be solved. The traveler's footsteps echo softly in the deserted lanes. Night-blooming flowers peek through garden fences, releasing a delicate fragrance that mingles with the scent of wet stone and freshly fallen rain. Eventually, the quiet pull of the bed grows irresistible. The traveler returns to the room at the Silver Maple Inn, gently removing damp shoes and cloak. The covers still carry the warmth from before. The traveler settles in, listening to the lullaby of the rain, letting each breath become slower, each heartbeat gentler. Thoughts drift into half-dream images of swirling fog and moonlit forests. The hush of the night wraps around everything, and the traveler sleeps a deep, dreamless sleep. When the next day dawns, it does so with the softest of silver lights. The rain is still there, but lighter than before. The traveler rises, feeling unusually rested. A subtle yearning emerges to explore the surrounding countryside. After breakfast, a modest affair of porridge and tea, the traveler sets off on a winding road that leaves Valo, passing the outskirts of the village, meandering among farms and groves. Thin coils of mist hover above the fields, and the ever-present drizzle forms tiny droplets on every surface, giving the land a shimmering sheen. The gentle slope of the road leads toward a low mountain range. Lined with old pines, the path disappears into a corridor of green and gray. The traveler steps beneath the canopy of needles, noticing how the droplets gather at the tips of branches before falling in measured intervals. A tranquil hush resides here, broken only by the faint chirping of birds and an occasional rustle of small forest creatures. A few hours pass as the traveler explores the forest's secrets. There are mossy rocks carved by trickling streams, tree roots arching out of the ground like curious sculptures, and glimpses of elusive wildlife darting between ferns. All the while, the steady drizzle persists, but it's comforting. Just the right amount of rain to keep the world hushed and the air fresh. Eventually, the path opens into a clearing with a small pond at its center. The water's surface is like a mirror flecked with gentle ripples from the rain. Pines and fog reflect upon it, creating a ghostly scene that feels almost out of time. Pausing there, the traveler breathes deeply, taking in the quiet. A fallen tree trunk offers a natural seat. Droplets slip from overhead branches, and the faint echo of water resonates against the pond's edges. The traveler closes their eyes for a moment, allowing the subtle energies of this place to bring a sense of calm. Away from any hustle or hurry, enveloped by the low gray sky and the hush of rainfall, it feels as though the heart of Transylvania offers solace here. It's a place where time moves gently, in slow rhythms aligned with the clouds and the quiet songs of nature. Eventually, the traveler rises, following the path that loops back toward Valo. The light begins to change, suggesting late afternoon is settling in. The drizzle intensifies slightly, creating a soft roar through the canopy. If one listens closely, it resembles the low hum of a distant ocean. Thunder grumbles again, a gentle companion on this meandering journey. Small streams form along the path, and the traveler steps carefully, mindful of the slippery rocks. When the village comes back into view, the traveler senses a comforting familiarity. Smoke curling from chimneys, lanterns being lit behind windows, and the damp cobblestones, these details all whisper of home, even though this is not truly the traveler's home. The traveler is drawn once more to the welcoming glow of the Silver Maple Inn. The warmth inside is a balm after the mild chill of the forest. Isadora smiles as the traveler enters, offering a fresh pot of tea and a warm towel. This evening meal is a feast of simple pleasures: roasted vegetables, savory bread, and a small tart for dessert. A few villagers gather at the inn, bringing news of daily chores and quiet gossip. It seems there is always talk of the sky. Will the rain continue, or will the clouds finally part for a full moon's glow? A few heads turn toward the windows, as though wishing for a glimpse of clear sky. But no one truly minds the rain. It's part of life here, as integral as the rolling hills and winding roads. Later, the traveler finds a corner near the fireplace, a book in hand, borrowed from the inn's modest library. It's a collection of local folklore, with pen and ink illustrations showing old castles perched on rocky cliffs, illuminated by the moon. The text moves slowly, describing quiet apparitions and hidden courtyards, but always in a gentle, almost wistful tone. Never to frighten, only to intrigue and lull. Each page turned is a soft rustle that blends with the crackling of the fire. The night outside grows deeper. Through the window, the traveler sees that the drizzle continues its rhythmic dance. The hour grows late, and the flames in the hearth burn lower. One by one, the lamps are extinguished, as though the inn itself is sighing with drowsiness. Another day in Valo closes gently, drifting into memory. When the traveler stands, limbs feel pleasantly heavy, the mind softened by the warmth of the meal and the cozy hours. The stairs creak in the hush, the candle held in one hand, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The traveler enters the quiet room, sets the candle on the small table, and notices how the window displays only darkness, a faint glimmer of moonlight behind thick clouds. The bed, turned down and waiting, seems like an invitation to slip into dream. Easing beneath the sheets, the traveler melts into the softness. Outside, the rain has dwindled to a near silent mist, with only the occasional patter of droplets falling off eaves. The hush is profound. Sleep tiptoes closer, wrapping its gentle embrace around the traveler's tired body and mind. Breathing slows, tension drifts away. The traveler closes heavy eyelids, the soft pillow supporting a drowsy head. An image of moonlit forests and misty roads lingers as consciousness begins to fade, each breath leading deeper into serenity. Morning arrives with delicate light. It's as if the sun tries to push through the curtains of cloud. The traveler stirs, feeling an unhurried sense of well-being. Outside, the drizzle has ceased. There's a soft hush, and the sky appears a lighter shade of grey, perhaps with the promise of clearer weather. The inn is quieter than usual. Some guests have already departed, while others still sleep. Taking the time to savor a final breakfast in the dimly lit dining room, the traveler contemplates the gentle wonders discovered in these rain-washed days. Before departing, the traveler exchanges a few words with Isadora. She wraps fresh pastries in a cloth bundle and offers it with a kind smile, nourishment for the road ahead. May the path be smooth and the rain gentle on your journey, she says softly. Though the traveler has stayed but a short while, it seems a piece of the inn's comforting aura will stay with them always. Packing belongings, the traveler steps out onto the cobblestone street one last time. Pale daylight falls across the stone, and a faint glimmer in the sky suggests the sun might finally break free of the clouds. The village feels both familiar and dreamlike, as though it has existed forever in this misty realm. There is no rush. The traveler takes a long breath, savoring the moist air laced with the scent of wet leaves and stone. Following the road leading away from Valo, the traveler glances back at the old sign swaying in the gentle breeze. The faint drizzle returns, almost in farewell, its droplets catching the light for a moment before falling to join the puddles below. The traveler's heart is full of quiet gratitude. Though they've explored only a fraction of the region's secrets, there is a sense that everything discovered was exactly what was needed. The hush of the night, the lullaby of the rain, and the soft glow of the hidden moon behind the clouds have woven themselves into the traveler's memory. Paths stretch onward toward distant mountains and forests. The traveler continues forward with an unspoken promise to carry the serenity of this place long after leaving it behind. And with each step, the memory of moonlit nights and gentle Transylvanian drizzle hums like a lullaby, ready to soothe restless thoughts whenever needed. Now, dear dreamer, allow the soothing images of this misty, rain-washed land to guide your mind into peace. Imagine yourself cozy, safe, and relaxed under the soft glow of a hidden moon. Let your breathing slow and release any tension still lingering in your body. With each exhalation, feel the day's worries dissolving, replaced by the hush of gentle rain against quiet cobblestones. You have journeyed through winding lanes, met kind souls, and rested in a warm inn sheltered by ancient walls. The patter of droplets fades to a whisper in your imagination, inviting your thoughts to grow silent. In this stillness, let your eyelids grow heavy as you float on the memory of a hushed, moonlit forest. Let the gentle hum of rest envelop you, soft as the mist that caresses the rolling hills. There is nothing more you need to do or think about. The story's tender echoes will watch over you, guiding you into a safe and nourishing slumber. In the quiet spaces between breaths, feel your body sinking into the soft embrace of sleep. Good night, dear traveler. May the misty rain and moonlit skies of Transylvania fill your dreams with calm. Sleep well.